EFC versus AFC. What's the difference? Hi, and welcome to your college planning daily video tip that's designed to help you get your student to the right college at the right price while preserving your retirement. So the EFC, you may have heard before, it's the expected family contribution. So this is a number that comes from your FAFSA, or your free application for federal student aid. So that looks at your income and your assets, your student's income and assets, and puts together a number that they expect you are able to pay each year for college education. So depending on your income and assets, this number can vary widely, and often it's bigger than you think it's going to be because you look at it and you say, oh, I can't spend that much on a college education. What am I going to do otherwise, right? Well, how am I going to do the other things that I normally like to do? But based on the equation, that's how the number comes out. So depending on where your student applies to school, your EFC is something that they look at for merit and scholarship aid. So whether you're getting need-based aid or merit-based aid or a mix of both, the EFC is often taken into account. Now, if your student is applying for school that is kind of a stretch for them, so maybe they're in the middle 50% of applicants, the chances of them getting their EFC met are smaller. And even if they do get it met, it's just going to be met. So you'll still be paying that number out of pocket. Now, if your student applies for a school where they're in the top applicants, so the top 25% or so, then they have a chance of not only having the EFC met, but having more money given than the EFC, so that you'd end up paying less. So that factors in. Now, the AFC is the actual family contribution. Now, this isn't an official acronym. It's one that we use here, but it's basically what you're ending up paying for school. Because when you look at the EFC, that's focusing just on tuition. Room and board is sometimes included, but not usually. And then it doesn't account for everything else. So if your student has a car or eats out or has a phone bill, so there's other bills and fees that go along with paying for your student to live that are in addition to the tuition and room and board. So your actual family contribution is going to be higher than your EFC, or expected family contribution, in pretty much every case. So you want to make sure that your student is applying to schools where their EFC is going to be ideally met or preferably beat, right? So that then you have more money for that actual family contribution when you look at the numbers, when you add everything together. So keep in mind, EFC is not necessarily the price that you're going to be paying for school. It is often less than you'll be paying. So make sure that you are looking at that EFC as a number that is not the whole picture when you end up seeing it the first time. So there are ways you can mitigate it. Just make sure that you're keeping in mind all of the other expenses that your student has. If you know someone who would benefit from receiving these daily video emails, please pass this on to them so that they can get them too. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.